So today on our show we have two curries. We have the Maharashtrian fish curry or Kalvan, and then we have the sprouted Moong Curry or mugacha birda. Hello folks, welcome to our first episode of Dish It with Deven. Today we're going to demonstrate for you a vegetarian dish, a sprouted Moong Curry, and a fish curry, both from the state of Maharashtra in India. Maharashtra is home to a city that you might have heard of called Mumbai. But before we go into that, I want to give a shout out to my niece Ria. Sweetheart, if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't be here doing this. And also to the rest of you who are watching today, who have supported me, especially the ones that have subscribed to my channel. Those of you who haven't, subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can keep you updated on all the fun recipes that we plan to bring to you. Now, let's get to making tonight's meal. So the interesting thing about fish curry is the community I'm from, the Kayast community, we are big fish eaters, and if it was up to us, we would eat fish in a dessert. But the first time I learned how to make fish curry was not in India. Surprisingly enough, I was in Nairobi visiting my uncle and aunt who lived in Nairobi at the time. And we went sightseeing and came back super hungry, and I walked into the kitchen. Anju Kaki, that's my aunt. Thank you. This recipe is thanks to you. And she used a freshwater fish that's available locally in Kenya called Nile perch. Nice big meaty chunks of fish. And within 15 minutes, 20 minutes, she had this amazing meal on the table for us. And today we're going to use salmon. And you can use any firm fish. You can use a halibut, cod, tilapia. In India, people use kingfish or surmai, pomfret, the common fishes in India. Use a firm fish because this is a curry, and if you use fish that's not firm, it breaks down in curry. So, for the salmon curry, we need to marinate the salmon in chili powder, turmeric, salt, tamarind, and a ginger garlic green chili paste. In addition to this, we need to make a paste of fresh coconut, and I use coconut milk to make the paste. And of course, chopped cilantro for a final finishing touch. I've already added chili powder, turmeric, and salt to this. Now to this we will add a ginger garlic green chili paste and then some tamarind. And so I'm going to show you how to make the ginger garlic green chili paste. So we have, oh gosh, it's just the recipe. By the way, guys, we have the recipe online, so you don't have to write anything down. I add some water to it. It has to be a nice slurry, and so if you add a little more water, no worries, because it's going into the curry. So don't stress about making a thick paste. Don't stress. This is supposed to be fun. Food is fun, not stress. It's divine. I mean, you guys have to try this. It's amazing. So then you add that to your curry. Now don't try and be all fancy and use spoons and forks, guys. When you do this, your hand is the best way to put this. So I don't take all of this. I just grab what I want. Pour it in, grab what I want, pour it in, mix it up real good, massage that fish really well because you want to make sure that it's nicely coated with marinade. And it should have this beautiful color. I mean, look at the color. Look at the nice color, this nice red color. And make sure that all the fish pieces are marinated, and keep some tamarind aside. Lexia kept some tamarind aside. So if it's not sour when you taste it, you can add some more tamarind. But if you add too much, you can't take it out. So the trick is be conservative when you start, and then you can always add more. So that's our fish. We'll let it sit for a bit as I get ready to get the curry going. Again, saved about 3 pods of garlic right here. We're gonna bruise them and we're gonna blacken them in oil before we add the fish to it. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grind up some coconut paste. And here's a hack if you want to really make some creamy coconut paste. So I'm going to use a slightly larger container for that. So with this you do is, I use about 3/4 of a cup of coconut. And the trick really is, see if you can grind it with coconut milk. So you get that, absolutely stunning creamy texture without compromising on the quality of the fish. So I use some coconut milk. This one's pretty thick, so I'm going to have to add a little more water. But this takes away the need to add too much water to it. Now the other hack I have is you can actually just use a thick coconut milk in this curry and make it super simple. So now this one you have to use a high smoking point oil. So I use avocado oil, you can use peanut oil, any oil that has a high smoking point. We need to have the oil to have a nice garlicky flavor. So what I do is I bruise the nice large chunks of garlic, bruise them a little bit, and then we fry them until they're almost blackened before we add anything to it. So here you go. The bruised garlic goes in here. I'm going to cover it and let it blacken a little bit. Now I place the fish skin side up. I braise the meat first before I turn it. Look at how beautiful it looks. I'm going to flip the fish over now on skin side down, and once we do the skin side down, then the idea is not to touch the fish a whole lot. But the curry will take care of the rest. So skin side down. Get a nice braise on the flesh and then skin side down. But look at the color. Food is art, so it should look pretty. Look at that. Now, coconut. The ground coconut. Pretty, huh? When you look at this, it's just like, so good. And the flavors really kind of dance with each other. It's kind of fun to watch that. If you were here with me, you would actually enjoy the aromas that each ingredient is giving out. I'm going to let that fish get to know the spices a little bit. Now do you see how nice and creamy the curry, the gravy is? And so the fish is done. It's easy to overcook fish, so you got to be careful. I think it's perfectly done. I'm going to plate it now. Traditionally we have it with steamed rice. The fish fillet right on top of the rice and let it crumble when it goes like that. See? There you go. And now to pour the gravy around it. So instead of rice, we do a nice little bit of quinoa. Look at that, doesn't it look pretty? So I used a rainbow quinoa. Again, place the fillet on top and then pour the curry. Like so. So now it's time to taste. The great thing about being a chef is you get to eat your own food. Being a good chef is you get to eat your own good food. So here you go, guys. Look at that. Nice flaky fish, a bit of rice. I'm good. Enjoy. Try this, for sure you're gonna love it. So we're gonna do a sprouted moong curry. So this is sprouted moong. You can sprout them at home or you can get them from the local grocery store. I leave the husk on because the husk is nutritious has a lot of fiber, and when you're my age, that's a good thing. So we're going to demo this next for you. Quick, can I give you an idea of what spices? This has a little more in terms of spicing. So we have, of course, the trifecta of Indian cooking is chili powder, turmeric, and salt. Just about every savory dish will have those three. Very rarely do we make anything that doesn't have that. In addition to that, I have some cumin powder, I have some coriander powder, I have a little bit of fennel powder, I have grated jaggery or brown sugar, and this is a garam masala. Garam masala, again, it could be many different ways. This is called Goda masala. It's from the state of Maharashtra. These are coconut petals. And the way we're going to make it is we're going to really do a shortcut to this curry. Traditionally, you saute the onions and you do all kinds of fun stuff with it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just fill everything in a container, cover it up, and cook it for 30 minutes. And when it's done, I'll do a fun tempering on top, and it's good to go. And it tastes delicious. If you're a Jain, if you don't eat onions and you don't eat garlic, take the onions and garlic out of this. You can make this with just the coconut milk and the other ingredients. But let's get started. Let's get started with making the paste that we need for this. In this instance, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grind up the coconut. Again, I'm going to use the hack. I'm going to use coconut milk with this. And again, guys, if you don't want to do fresh coconut, by all means, just open a can of coconut and add it. Add the ginger garlic water and then grind it up. Alright, so in this recipe, it's pretty simple. You just add, and I'm using avocado oil. You can use a peanut oil. In this recipe, actually, because we're not burning the oil or heating it, you can use olive oil as well. But generally in Indian cooking, you don't use olive oil. So a little bit of oil, and then you just add all the ingredients. Sprouts in. Onions. Put all these spices, all these beautiful spices all going together. And then a little bit of tamarind. So take a little bit of tamarind and add it to the mix. Then add the mash you made with the coconut milk. I mean the coconut and the coconut milk with, add it all. Mix it up really well. And have to add some water to this. And then we just simmer it for 30 minutes. We need to add some curry leaves too. Some curry leaves, I left the stalk on. The stalk has a lot of flavor. And we can take it out when the sprouts are ready. A little bit of cilantro. Now a whole cup of water. Now I try and use hot water, warm water, but you can use room temperature too. That's, you know. Now if you were here, you would actually smell the wonderful aroma of this thing being cooked. I'm gonna let that go. So the trick is to bring it to a boil and then turn it to simmer. So it'll take about 5-7 minutes to come to a boil. Then turn it down to a simmer and then let it simmer for about 25 minutes or so. Alright guys, let's take a look at our moong curry, sprouted moong curry. So look at that color. Also coming out really well. I keep it on the thicker side, but guys, obviously if you want a little bit more, here's what you can do. A nice creamy consistency. Look. And the sprouts are not yet done, so I gotta still cook it for a bit. So I'm gonna continue cooking it. For the moong beans to cook to a consistency where it's nice al dente, 15 to 18 minutes once it comes to a simmer. So we're gonna cover it up. I have the tempering on top of this moong birda, or the moong curry that we're making. Put a little bit of oil. And here we have some mustard seeds And I've already added a pinch of asafoetida or hing in it. And so the tempering has mustard seeds. When they crackle, I'll add the green chili and then curry leaves, and we'll add it to this. And now the tempering is ready. You always cover it so it doesn't splatter all over your. Pour it on top of the moong, and it is now ready to be served. You mix it up a little bit, and then if you want, you can let it sit for a few minutes so that the tempering can really infuse with the moong curry that you've made. And this curry is now ready to be served. It's a little bit thinner by adding more coconut milk to it, or it's adding some water. On this is simple, just like the fish. And there you go. You've got a nice, healthy, vegetarian sprouted moong curry on rice pilaf. It's time to taste. So this is again rice with the sprouted moong curry. Another way to have this is just take a little bit of sprouts, sprinkle it with some tomatoes, if you want some little bit of onion if you want, sunflower seeds, a bit of trail mix for fun. A bit of cilantro, and you mix it up. No rice, nothing, just all goodness of just the moong sprouts with a crunch of trail mix. Brilliant, so good. Great snack, even a meal. So again, happy cooking. You guys have a great time. Until next time, be good, do good, create good. God bless. Subscribe to my channel. It was wonderful being here with you. Take care.